My name is Aram. My pronouns are he, him. I am the writer and producer of the actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, God's Fall.
And my name is Dylan. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a physicist from Canada.
Welcome to Kill Every Monster. This week on Kill Every Monster, we are featuring the werewolf.
The Monster Manual describes the werewolf as a savage predator. In its humanoid form, a werewolf has heightened senses, a fiery temper, and a tendency to eat rare meat. Its wolf form is a fearsome predator, but its hybrid form is more terrifying by far. A furred and well-muscled humanoid body topped by a ravening wolf's head. A werewolf can wield weapons in hybrid form, though it prefers to tear foes apart with its powerful claws and bite.
We are joined by writer and gamemaster Diana. Diana, or Super Dylan, is a tabletop RPG creator and entertainer, author of Neverland the Impossible Island, a 5e setting guide, one half of the Femsplain podcast, and a big old queer dork. Welcome to the show, Diana.
Thanks for that killer intro that you made up on the spot about me. Yeah. Thanks for saying all those really nice things that you made up.
It's just off the top of my head. And for some reason, every single person I know, I just got a paragraph waiting to go. I'm just like human LinkedIn.
Really appreciate that you threw in big ol' queer dork at the end, which really sets people apart from our standard oeuvre for guests.
So far, both hosts, every single guest queer. It wasn't on purpose. It's just like, that's just happens to be all the people we like.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for having me.
So, first of all, Diana, what is a werewolf to you?
Oh, a friend.
A furry friend.
Werewolves have been one of my favorite creatures for a long time, predating my interest in RPGs and stuff like that. Werewolves are so interesting to me because there's so many werewolf stories, and there are werewolf stories that are real bad, and then there are ones that are really good. And I think that what sets the good ones apart is what is the werewolf's struggle. In, say, Twilight or True Blood, there's always some sort of parallel drawn to like drug addiction, or weird tribal stereotypes are always like thrown in there. A good werewolf story has a more inner conflict. It's the conflict between some parts of yourself that you don't like or maybe wish that you didn't have to deal with, and the parts of you that are easier. I can accept two metaphors for the werewolf story, and that is the queer metaphor, and that is the chronic illness metaphor. Personally, I can't be asked to talk about werewolves without talking about the fact that I have lupus. It's not just like in the name, like lupus is wolf and all of that, but there are real parallels that maybe lend to the theory that people with lupus were where this like myth may have originated from, in that we get these like strange looking bite mark sized bruises all over our bodies when we get sick. This sort of like transformation process where they could be fine for months and then overnight become, riddled with pain. We have a hypersensitivity to sunlight, which explains this.
At this point, Diana has gestured to her general paleness.
Yes.
It'll be a tough sell on the podcast, but yes, absolutely.
It's not a visual medium, but trust me, I am reflecting light. I think the best werewolf stories tell a story where the werewolf has to not beat that thing, but become harmonized with it and find a balance between those two sides of themselves and learn to be happy and cohesive with it.
Did that draw you to werewolf stories? Do you keep revisiting them as kind of a source of connection?
Always, all the time. It's just a struggle because like we mentioned, a lot of them are pretty bad. Or a lot of them are coupled with vampires, and the vampires are, for some reason,
The vampires, the core story. The werewolves are kind of like the
some
little
sort of weird
side group.
subplot.
Yeah.
But you know what? I take my scraps.